keep coming. I huff and I snort to the goal, yo. I ain't your friend, ho. I take you down, though. We fight for our rights. This isn't a game. We live for the ride. We're going down in flames. We don't give nothing when nothing is due. In the end, when it falls, it's on top of you.
Fresco Matic.
Behold, you are now in the presence of the fly.
Every season, my season, every season, my season, man. As long as I'm breathing, every season, my season,
How long has it been?
every season, my season, every season, my season, man. As long as I'm breathing, every season, my season, man. As long as I'm breathing, every season, my season, man. As long as I'm breathing, every
Street
season,
sweeper, the fly is back. And once again, for the third season, welcome to another jam-packed, legendary edition of the Fresco Show. Hold on.
I can switch up on my guys for them mama go. Demon shorty say she love my fly. Hope that's not the dope speaking. Hope that's not the dope speaking. No.
That's not even over.
Every season, my season, every season, my season, man. As long as I'm breathing, every season, my season, every season, my season, man. As long as I'm breathing, every.
Yeah.
Every
And once
season,
again,
my
you guys, man, this is just an
season,
awesome experience, folks. We got a lot to get into today. There's only one place that you're going to look for when it comes to top anything, and that's right here.
pulled off, skirt
The
bag.
heavyweight fly. The heavyweight fly. This is an extra intro because we are back.
It's about getting all this bread for your dirt nap. Looking like the worst trash. First class is on the bag, pocket full of cash. Blunts ash, living dash, just look at the dash. I'm just trying to make it last, it go in the flag.
Yeah. Season 3.
Every season, my season, every season, my season, man. As long as I'm breathing, every season, my season, every season, my season, man. As long as I'm breathing, every.
That's right.
Yeah. Every season, my season, every season, my season, man. As long as I'm breathing, every season, my season.
This is how I get down.
As long
See,
as I'm breathing.
oh, this feels right. This feels so right. This feels so right. Madam Rice, check 1, 2. Can you hear me? Okay. Behold, you are now in the presence of the fly. And welcome to the season 3 premiere of the Fresco Show, folks. We are here now in 2022. We made it here, folks. We're here in the new year, and so much has happened since the last time you saw us.
Yeah, 2022.
Who was our last guest we had was Zuka King, and when was that, Madam Rice? When was that?
Man, sometime in 2021.
It's been that long. I think
has.
probably August. I had Zuka King on the show right before I defended my fighting championship against Cutthroat Cody, an opponent that I'm actually gonna run into again, like I always do. But
Yeah, I remember that.
yeah. So much has happened. Let me put you up to speed for everyone that's only been catching up on the Fresco Show and they need the new perspective. After I defeated Cutthroat Cody in my 8th title defense for the fighting championship, it was finally time. It was finally time to own up to the throne that was made for me. But before we got there, the faction, lights, camera faction,
LCF.
stepped up to a whole nother level. So much so that we went over to the negative zone, the shoot zone, AZ, and absolutely took over the entire circuit. My first match, my first official match that I walked into Arizona, myself and he is Watson in the 700 plus day R&B AWF Tag Team Championship reign. It came to a screeching halt. And I also became AWF Tag Team Champion, but no.
Yes,
Just
yes,
a
you did.
month later, at Big Valley's Outrageous, I took on Big Dirty, and I finally freed Big Valley of the grips of old reality as I became the new heavyweight champion. And destiny has been fulfilled, folks. And now I stand before you, not just the king of the north, beating down Nino Smack, not just the king of the valley, but the Vegas Kingpin.
Ooh.
And you know, I had to let y'all know that because for a while now, it feels like people seem to forget what Fresco and the Fresco Show has brought, not only to the city, but into the entire wrestling and beyond organization. So I'm gonna keep it funky with y'all. I had to get that off my chest. We done had a lot of big moments since then, big pay-per-view matches, big main events. But more importantly, it's good to be back on the air because this is our platform. This is how we get down. Guys, we are live on Twitter, Periscope, Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Go Live Vegas. We are live everywhere, folks. It has been one for the ages, but we back on it. We back on it. The thing about it now is we were thinking about when to bring the show back. And we were just trying to figure out what was the right situation. And a funny thing came up. I was thinking about it, and the case was going to be, you know what we need for this city?
What?
What would be a good, legitimate top 10? What would, like, in a top 10, not for ego's sake, but to recognize and acknowledge the talent that we've acquired here in Vegas, because
Yeah, it's been a lot. Yeah.
It's been a whole thing, because I'm looking at the scope of what we have now, and really just the lay of the land. I've never seen, I can't think of another place that's more competitive than this, than the Vegas scene, Las Vegas wrestling scene. There is just way too much to keep up with at once. So I think it really came down to, so I made a tweet. I said, who is your LV top 10?
Yeah, I remember that. Remember that
And we
tweet.
got, quite a bit of responses from it, pretty much asking and looking for their own top 10. And we got a whole list of just different names I didn't even expect to see on people's lists, but rightfully so should be on their list. And we will get to that there in just a second. But I almost forgot, Madam Rice.
What?
Football this past weekend. The New England Patriots. I think last time we were on here, I was complaining about them cutting Cam Newton.
Yes, you were.
Yeah. So okay, so we can fast forward, and now the Patriots got their ass whipped on Saturday. And you know what? I was in such a heinous mood already that it didn't even bother me. But the thing was, I told y'all from the jump that we should have kept Cam. And people say, oh, no. Oh, Cam Newton went to Carolina and stunk it up. Carolina was stinking long before Cam Newton got back. So I don't know what y'all talking about, but I know one thing, a 47-17 beatdown from the Bills, that is, I know Cam wouldn't lay down for that. You know what I'm saying? My dad calls Mac Jones mac and cheese because he feels like he's just cheesy. He's just cheesy and greasy. So right now, being a Patriots fan, you got a lot of high expectations. So, but naturally you have to be real when it comes to it. And honestly, it's not enough. So New England, Bill Belichick, get your shit together. We got to get back on the rise. And we'll talk about one more team. And Madam Rice, who is my favorite team in all of sports?
Your favorite team in all of sports?
All of sports.
The Clippers?
The Clippers.
Yeah.
The Clippers. Right now, it's real tough because we are just killed by injuries, like every year. But I'm just hopeful that Kawhi and PG come back just in time for the playoffs so we can show everyone that the curse has been broken and we can finally take our spot. But I can't lie, though. Watching the Lakers this year has been extra fun. It's been extra fun because I am seeing what happens when people just go with the vibes, go with the clout.
The Laker vibes?
The Laker vibes, the Laker clout. And it's like a blind man could have told you that Russell Westbrook was going to be a problem for the Lakers. But everyone wanted to drink the Kool-Aid. Oh, he's playing with LeBron. He never played with LeBron before. Him and AD just won a championship. Russell Westbrook going to, place in line. They're going to gel. This team is the oldest team in the league before the season even started by age. And they just got whipped again by 37 points. And Magic Johnson is now talking about how the Lakers need to get it together for the fan base. I don't feel bad for none of you. I don't feel bad for one of you. Because you guys all went after me when the Clippers lost in the Western Conference Finals, and y'all treated it like we got bounced out in the first round. So I need y'all to eat y'all crow and understand that the Clippers, without their two best players, are still the better, more higher quality team than the Lakers. But enough of that. Today's actually a very special day. You know what today is, Madam Rice?
I do.
Yes. Okay, what is it? You know what today is?
Yeah.
It's a couple of special days.
Yeah, it's someone's
birthday. What? And it is actually, one of them is my man, Action Braxton.
Yes.
Of Lights, Camera, Faction. I want to give him a quick shout out. Shout out to my man, Braxton. I know you're probably listening right now at the function, turning up. Understand, man, the power to the building, the genius of professional wrestling. I got your Bizak, man. Much love to you. 24. Man, I remember when I was 24.
Yeah.
Man.
Me too.
I remember I was 24. Those are the shoes. I was a different guy when I was 24. Let me say that. I was a different guy.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We will be right back. But do not go anywhere because the article man joins me live and we talk top 10. Do not go anywhere, folks. Holla.
Hey, don't touch the gun. Please don't touch me. Don't touch me.
Hey, podcast! Huh?
Bats, huh? You messed with the wrong one.
Burglar! You in trouble now! Oh! Jump! Oh! Jump! Oh!
What's popping off, you guys, and welcome back to another jam-packed edition of the Fresco Show. Matter of fact, Madam Rice, what episode is this? Is this? I always lose. I think it's 24 or 23.
You know what? I think it is 24.
I think it's 24. Wow.
Wow.
So on Action Braxton's 24th birthday, the 24th episode of the Fresco Show is here. Wow, 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 wow. MLK Day is going wild, going wild. And you know what? I got a very special guest with me. I feel like paying attention to the wrestling scene here in Vegas is key because the scene is so different from everywhere else. And I think for someone to take the responsibility to not only watch everything, because not everything is gravy, but to watch everything and to make sense of all of it and keep track of the talent, I think that goes without saying. That's important for our young, thriving scene at the moment. So, without further ado, our special guest, reoccurring and back, the Article Man. Brian is back in the studio. What's going on? How you doing, Brian?
Welcome.
Good, Fresco. How you doing?
Oh, man, I'm smoky smooth, chilling like Dylan. You know, we out here, man. Let's get it.
Excited to be here, man.
Yeah.
Big day. Big night.
Big night. We're back here, of course. You know, you look at my title there in the front. It's looking real good in the front. Look at that hardware, boy. Woo! That's an upgrade from another belt, huh?
Yeah.
That's an upgrade. That thing heavy. It got some weight to it. It got some weight to it. Oh, man. So, Mr. Article Man, we are back once again in the Fresco Show studios at Go Live Vegas. We're on some important missions today, man.
Definitely.
On some important missions, man. We're gonna try to discuss who made these top 10 lists. You know, kind of explain to the audience, you know, in the best, you know, in a cool way, what went into this idea in the first place for this to come together on the show.
Well, so Power Rankings is something we've wanted to do from day one with LasVegasWrestlingScene.com. Always enjoyed seeing it on ESPN, Fox, other sports channels. I know Pro Wrestling Illustrated obviously did it in their magazine for years. For us, though, it wasn't something where I would just come up with a top 10 myself,
Right.
because that wouldn't really have any validation, because it's really
Gotcha.
just one person's opinion.
Yep.
So before we were going to do it, it really had to be something where we had a group, we had a council, committee, whatever, to each come up with their own set of rankings, and we bring them all together to come up with the power ranking. So it wasn't just my opinion, wasn't just someone else's opinion. It was a group
Okay,
agreement.
okay. So that confirms it, folks. The secret council was used for this list. This is what's supposed to make this list more, objective, more fair. Because I'm gonna be honest, the rest of the rankings list you hear out there, I don't know. If like there's some extra things that go into that.
Hoopla.
You know, this year is unbiased. What's that?
I said, sounds like a lot of hoopla.
Hoopla. So a hoopla.
That's one way to put it.
Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
No,
that's really true.
You right. Talk that. So this is why we had to do this here. So the secret council.
Well, you and I had talked about doing rankings before,
Right, for
so
a while,
it really made
yeah.
sense to do it here.
Yeah.
You know?
So I'm very happy that we decided to do this on the ultimate platform. So that makes sense. Let's check out these bubble guys that kind of hovered around the list, because a lot of superstars kind of went into this, and it was difficult from what it was saying, right? Was it hard to put this list together?
It was incredibly hard. When we started the project and we put everybody together and we started talking about it, I thought it would be fairly cut and dry. I figured I had people, who was in my mind, who I thought would be in the top 5 or 6. It went literally 7 or 8 people I was considering to be number 1.
Okay.
As we were talking about it. So then as we started discussing our list together, we all were saying the exact same thing. Like, I can't believe how difficult this was. It was very, very, just to split hairs. Just to split hairs,
I bet. Yeah. Go ahead and drop that. Go ahead and drop that slide on the previews, what we got on the bubble list. So, wow. So, Maserati, of course, well-traveled.
Very talented.
Very well-traveled, former FSW Women's Champion. Has been to like 20 states in 2021, made the bubble. So recognizing that, Okay,
Ring of
yeah,
Honor
yeah.
women's tournament.
Yeah, women's tournament.
Women
Ring of
FSW
Honor.
champion for half a year.
Half a year. Next, okay, we got Ricky Mandel. Dang, Ricky Mandel's on the bubble? Okay, so long time versus pro champion. Just
Yep.
lost that not too long ago.
Yep.
Kind of dominated that. Just some Arizona things. He makes the bubble here. Okay.
What's the bubble?
The bubble is kind of like the outside looking in, but definitely deserves honorable mention.
Yeah, recognition for sure.
Wow. Funny bone.
So the demigod got a lot of conversation.
Yeah.
We went back and forth with him, and really what we kind of settled on is he's really kind of like he's his own icon. In a way, almost
Absolutely.
putting him in the rankings doesn't really mean any. He's like they used to say with WWE that you'd have your main event and then you'd have who was wrestling the Undertaker.
Yeah.
I really think Funny Bone.
Oh,
is,
yeah.
You know
Oh,
what I
yeah.
mean? He's kind of like he's always a big match.
Yeah,
Whoever's
always a big
wrestling
match,
him. So to
always a big
me,
match.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
If
for
that makes sense.
No, I got you. I
Yeah.
got you. I definitely feel Funny Bone. He's giving me a couple of shots. One through a
He's
table.
terrific.
I ain't forget.
He's really terrific.
All right, yeah. Go ahead, continue that bubble list. Wow, Dark Sheik. Dark Sheik makes it. I can see that though, because she maybe hasn't been in town as long, but we all know Dark Sheik is like a top independent star. So,
She's fantastic. Absolutely.
Yeah. Dark Sheik's on my wrestle list. So for sure.
And again with the bubble too, and especially in singles because it was so close that there were 10 or 15 people that all got votes for the top 10.
Yeah.
So that's
okay.
like Dark
Wow.
Sheik is easily a top 10 wrestler, obviously.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's how tight it was in singles.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and drop that. Oh, Damian Drake. Damian Drake makes the bubble list. Okay. I can see that. You know, he definitely had an interesting year last year. Unguided, of course, tag team champions with the Unguided, but then
Yeah,
injury.
I think exactly, and I think the challenge with Damian is obviously he's a top 10 talent. I don't think there's any question about that. Normal circumstances, full season in singles, I would say he'd be in the top 10 without a doubt. Obviously the tag, then the injury, so it was really hard to kind of figure out what he was with only a few months as a singles wrestler, even though we know how good he is already, if that makes sense.
I got you. Okay. So go ahead and start bringing up these tag bubbles, and then we'll get into the official tag team 10 list. All right. First one up for the bubble. Okay. R3 and Bright Saturn. I know these guys in the negative zone. They are a legit team. Been out here a little bit in Vegas, right?
Yeah, they have. They've done a lot in Versus, working out of Versus, various companies. Very talented team. I really like these guys. Arizona has so much talent, as you found out from being down there.
For sure.
And these two guys have been there for a while. They're very, very good. I think more time here, they'll definitely find their time in the top 10.
Gotcha. Okay. Go ahead and slide that next one. Oh, the Pack. The Pack makes the bubble list. Big Duke, Principe Leon. Principe Leon reminds me of Garfield from the cartoon. But he is so people love that guy. We were at Taco Fest and the crowd was just going crazy for him. He's actually the Taco Fest champion.
And see, and these guys were difficult too because they were right there on the border the whole time. There were times that looked like they would be in the top 10, then they were in the bubble. Then they were in the top 10. So it was a very tough mix, especially there.
Okay, yeah.
But I like those two guys a lot.
Sure. All right, next up. Okay, Heart and Soulless makes the list. All right. Okay, the bubble team. Nick Xander, Chase Bell,
I like
a whole
them.
lot of young talent. You like
Me
them?
too.
Yeah, I do.
You like them? Yeah. What do you think of that team?
Well, you know, with Xander, FSW Rookie of the Year, great match the other night. Congratulations to him. He's done tag and he's done singles, so there hasn't really been even though Heart and Soulless has teamed a lot, they haven't had any real marquee wins, but they've been competitive. I think that's what's kind of kept them. I think that's what ultimately kept them out of the top 10. But a lot like the Pack, they were another team that was discussed constantly as should they be top 10? Are they not top 10 yet? I think just more work early in the year would probably put them in there.
Okay. Okay, and then we have one more bubble squad on there. Two. Okay, two more. Okay, Hand of Creation. Okay, I'm not too familiar with this squad, but I know they do a lot of work there over there at the Versus World. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. It's
Okay.
actually 3 guys.
Oh, it is. Okay.
But and then the 2 who's regular the tag team, and then Mr. Nobody. You know, for young talent, rookies, they've really committed. I think that's one thing we saw a lot in 2021. Obviously, with Nick Xander, Brett the Threat, guys like that. These guys too. They've been committed to what they wanted to bring to the ring and exactly what story they wanted to tell. The matches they kind of have. Is the talent there yet? Not yet, but they certainly have. I like what the potential brings with these guys. I really do.
And this is probably one of Madam Rice's favorites right here. Greatness
Yes.
and Tenacious.
That's our picture. I love that picture.
Yeah,
Yes.
those two have been coming up. They remind me a lot of Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's good.
You know, when
That's
I
good.
see him around.
That's really good.
Yeah, for
Another
sure.
team that we had a lot of conversation about.
Yeah. I just think all those teams and all and those tag teams in general, they all just need to pile up more wins, pile up more significant wins to kind of be in this list. Because quite frankly, the tag team division kind of goes up and down throughout Vegas. Sometimes it feels like it's deep, sometimes it feels like it's not.
Right.
So it's a matter of time for those teams, but there's a lot of that can happen. Okay.
And the league.
All right.
I
The
think
league.
they're a team that needs some more
The
minutes.
league, yeah, Hollow
I think
Point,
they need more minutes.
Big Dirty. Is Bruce Wayne's on that squad too?
I don't know if he's a part of them as a I've never heard of them as actually
know,
a
Bruce
faction, but
Wayne.
I like Bruce Wayne's and Hollow Point a lot. But
got
Bruce is he's crazy. He's
Bruce is
wild.
crazy. Bruce is
Wild.
crazy. Bruce is wild. Bruce is wild.
What you see is what you get with Bruce, man. For sure.
Yep. Yes, guys, we are live here, folks. We are about to get into the top 10 tag teams right now. We're going to go ahead and set this up. Madam Rice,
Yes.
intro us for who is number 10.
All right. Number 10, we have Shogun, SOS, and Hero Lou.
Okay. Shogun and Hero cracked the top 10. What went into this, Brian?
I just think these guys have so much talent. I mean, I honestly feel like I could have put them in the top 5 because in a lot of ways, they're not just projecting what they did in 2021, but legitimately, they're major contenders for Tag Gold this year, in my opinion.
I agree. Yeah, I mean, and they look great together. They're both tall, so I definitely agree. They're definitely cracking the top 10.
Powerful
for sure.
team, both
Yeah,
great
you know.
athletes. There's so much to like about them, and they do, like you said, madam, they gel really well.
Mm-hmm.
Two
Yeah.
guys that really were singles wrestlers
Yeah.
found a way to come together, and I think this is just the beginning.
It makes a lot of sense. I remember when this team was coming up, and they were just two guys that were kind of on solo missions, working for a common cause for that night. I know me and Braxton had a run-in with them last year, and in a one-on-one tag, and that wasn't fun. But Shogun and Hero, it's about time they understood what they needed to do with each other. But they won't get in the factions way, that's for sure. If they get to tag team gold, congrats to those monsters. But monsters all got monsters that they gotta look out for, and that's the faction for sure.
Absolutely.
And Hero filled in good when Kenny King was gone.
Yeah.
That's really when those two really started to find.
I like
their spot,
that. I
you
like
know?
that because with Shogun, I feel like with his first tag team title run, it was kind of taken away from him from COVID. You know what I'm saying? And his partner Kenny not being available.
Yeah, it was a shame.
ROH star, so he's only available for so many shows.
Right.
The
No
more
fault
things-
of anybody's.
So between that and missing shows and shows being put off because of COVID, it really pushed it back. I feel like it's destiny for him to kind of do this with his, that's his boy. Hero Lou is his boy. So
Yeah.
it makes sense for them to rise up together. TBD. TBD. Okay. Who do we got at number 9?
Number 9, we've got RMB. Get money.
Oh, the RMB. R&B. Okay. Brian, what went into this one for the Real Money Brothers on the top 10?
Well, the Real Money Brothers, obviously Vegas iconic team, one of the great teams in Las Vegas of all time. To me, they're very similar to somebody like Damian Drake, who it really doesn't matter, even though they were here early in the year, came back just recently. If they're active in Las Vegas, they're involved in the rankings. I don't know how with what they did against Death Proof in the first half of the season going into this year, I don't know how you wouldn't still have them in the rankings anyway.
No, you're right.
The team is just that good.
You're right. R&B's a team that, we know very much so. When their presence is felt, it's felt in the Vegas scene. Feel like they're kind of the elder statesmen, maybe I wouldn't say gatekeepers, but definitely in a way where if you're a top tag team, in this area, you got to go through them eventually.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I think of it kind of like a rite of passage sort of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If nothing else, this sounds like a respect ranking in a way, just because they are two-time FSW Tag Team Champions. They are former champions in West Coast Connection Wrestling, of course, traveled in China. And they were also the previous AWF Tag Team Champions.
Who broke that streak?
Who broke that streak? Who broke the streak? 700 plus days. They were tag team champions of Arizona Wrestling Federation, and who came on their very first match and took the straps from them? Oh, it's the faction boys.
Yeah.
And I had to say that because that was history making right there. I still remember that night. You were there that night, Madam
I
Ice.
was.
And we robbed Phoenix, Arizona of the tag team titles. And we're technically the only tag team champions in the state of Arizona right now anyways. So
Big facts.
So it was a monumental win, but lots of respect to R&B. We know that's a fight every time we see them. And hopefully we get to see them again in the Vegas scene. I know they was at Super Beast show
for sure.
the other week, and I know they made it to the finals for that tournament. So big deal.
Definitely.
Okay. Who do we got next here on the list?
At number 8, we have Affirmative Action.
Wow, Affirmative Action, the Versus World Boys. Okay. This is the obvious choice, right?
Yeah.
You know, Shade and West, those guys dominate that territory. And I remember when it happened, it felt like, oh, okay. Of course they're the tag team champions.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
But they and the whole tag division revolved around them. So many different things came out of what they were doing, and I think they work real well together. They're entertaining. They're a lot of fun. The fans love them. There's a lot about those. I think they're really a kind of an unsung team that I was very happy to see that everybody was recognizing them as well.
for sure.
Oh,
No,
number.
you go ahead with your thoughts on it?
Oh, my thoughts on it?
Yeah.
I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that they're on the list. I mean, we have the Shade, who is a very, very talented wrestler, and we have Wes, who is the owner of Versus, and family man, great guy. So put them two together, and
Tag team champions.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. They run havoc. I still have nightmares of hearing their theme song play in my head whenever Affirmative Action is in the presence of the Fly. Speaking of that, what do we have here at number 7?
Number 7, we have Unguided.
Whoa! Unguided number 7?
Yeah.
Okay. When I initially thought of this list, my brain told me that this team should probably be in the upper top. What, in your opinion, did the Secret Council decide they should be 7 here?
What we did with the Unguided is we really they weren't together anymore. So I wasn't sure if everybody else was going to have them in their list or not. I'll be perfectly honest, I did not. And it isn't because I don't think they're a top 3 tag team. Let me just make that very clear.
Right.
If I had put them on the list, they would have been in the top 3. But the fact that they weren't together, we had, Damian and Matt feuding. To me, there wasn't any reason to put them on there. But I understood why everyone else did also. They wanted to recognize a lot what they had done in the first half. Kind of, I guess, what I said about R&B, although R&B is still together.
Right.
So but the Unguided comes back together, say in a few months from now, they're in the rankings. Obviously, they're that kind of team. They were tremendous last year.
Madam Rice, any thoughts?
You know what? I think this is probably not the popular opinion, but every time they're out in the ring, I know that I'm going to be entertained. I know that I'm going to see top tier wrestling, and I know I'm going to see character work. So those are the 3 things that I really enjoy about the Unguided, for sure.
Yeah, the Unguided definitely dominated the first half.
Without a doubt.
Of 2021. All the way till they defended the titles at GCW in Tampa, Florida. They were kind of on this hot streak running into the summer, and then boom, injury to Damian Drake. It seems like that kind of set them back a whole lot. And then the minute they get a shot for the tag titles, they turn towards each other. So that makes sense. That makes sense because for a good part of the year they weren't around, but still respect to have them on this list because they were champions.
Definitely.
Who do we got next?
Number 6, Suavecitos.
Suavecitos, Suavecitos. Danny Rose, Ricky G, Suavecitos, you Holmes. That's my Danny Rose impersonation. Danny Rose. Number 6, Suavecitos. How about this team, huh?
How can you not love the Suavecitos as far as just where those 2 guys have come from the first time I saw them to now, and watch them as a team, watch how they come to the ring. They're committed to the heat. They have no problem getting into it with the fans. They're not slapping hands. They're not doing any of the things that you would want to see out of a villain.
Right.
Their double teams are great. They seem to add a new move every time I see them. Just tremendous evolution with those 2 guys.
Yeah. I remember earlier in 2021 they had a shot for the tag team titles, and I was almost convinced that was their time to actually beat Deptford because they were that hot coming into that match.
Yes.
They acquired Adrian Quest. I thought that was a huge pickup for them, and I think Suavecitos got a whole lot of future ahead of them. They just got to stay focused. They some knuckleheads.
Suavecitos are raw.
Yes.
And that's what I love about them.
Yes.
They're raw. They're real.
Yeah.
Danny Rose is, you get what you get with Danny Rose.
Get what you get with.
Absolutely.
Both of them. They both some fools. They both some fools. All right. What we got number 5?
Numero 5. Do I even have to say it? We've got Lights, Camera, Faction, LCF.
So, we're not, wait. Hold on. So, we're not number 1? What? Brian. How are we not number 1?
Not yet. Not yet.
Okay.
But tons of respect, though. Tons of respect from the council. You were another heavily discussed team. I mean, very, very impressed. I've been impressed with LCF for a long time because you guys at first, it looked like, we're just going to throw these guys together. They're going to lose some matches and then they'll just do their own thing. But you guys owned that and have just turned it into, easily one of the top heels in Vegas. Easy. And tremendous talent in the ring. You guys mix up. When it doesn't matter who's teaming with who, it's always a solid tag team match. I don't feel like you're missing anything when you guys mix it. Like, you guys can compensate. Wrong word, but the Freebird rule.
The Freebird rule.
And I think that's going to be important going forward. I feel like you guys encompass that, and I've been so impressed with what you guys have done. 5th is this is a tight group at the top.
Okay.
It's a tight group. There's some really good teams.
I'm gonna have to see who got
really
ahead.
good teams.
Who got ahead here? So who's number 4?
Right. Number 4 is S4TB.
S4TB, the secret council. All right, okay. S4TB, they are very good. They are very good. S4TB's number 4, but
Yes.
I think that makes, okay, if we're being objective, I can see why you did that. I can see why that happened, but you tell me why. You tell me why.
Well, they were another polarizing group because, one of the conversations that we had was whether or not it was going to be S4TB or Creature Feature, because Adriel Noctis and Laz, I would say, did roughly 90% of their tag team here in Las Vegas. But when they won the Versus tag titles, Jody was with Laz.
One of the recipients.
Yeah, so I feel like and obviously Joe with their, 6-man tag, 8-man tag, stuff like that. But what Creature Feature did, I think, was very good, and there was a lot of respect in the group from them. They were, or S4TV, they were ranked high in most of the rankings.
Those
Good
guys,
team.
Yeah.
The middle teams in the rankings are so close that you could move any of them around and make a perfect argument that it would make sense.
Right.
That's really where it's hard to separate it.
Okay, and and S4TB has been doing a thing. They travel. I think they was in New York the other day or New Jersey. Making it town. So they always got straps around them. So and they got Grab House. Grab House is their own
And
promotion.
that's great.
So they're making moves. Respect to them. I just let y'all know that when. What's that?
I do have to say though,
What's up?
it's a little surprising. The S4TB and the LCF, just because you're 2-time champion. They're just in Lights Camera Faction. There's a lot of gold. There's a lot of gold.
There's a lot of gold in S4TB too.
Okay,
I think,
yeah.
Well, part of it too, though, is that the gold that S4TB has is Vegas tag team titles. So one of the things, and I should specify this too, for those of you that are going, I was in 10 states. We focused on Las Vegas. So titles you won because believe me, could have easily factored in the AWF tag titles. But we wanted to focus on Las Vegas, the local talent, what they did here specifically, as we focused in on these rankings.
Okay,
I see that. Yeah.
Right. Hit us with number 3.
All right. Number 3 is Sky High.
Sky High. Wow. You know what? If we would have saw this list maybe in early 2021, they may have been lower, but they bounced back big time at the end of 2021.
Couldn't agree with you more. These guys had such a hot second half, really kind of around end of August going into September. They just started crushing it. And a lot of the stuff that we were looking to see early in 21, we saw at the end of 21, and it was really like watching two different teams. Because they were wrestling singles a few times, which is, that's good too. But I really feel like now that they've gotten more, I guess we'll say, airline miles towards the second half together outside of Las Vegas, here in Vegas, the W's are coming. They look great.
Best of the West Tag Team
Champions. Absolutely.
Defended the titles at FSW, opening that forbidden door here in the Independents.
They really look like a different team.
They do.
It's really incredible.
They do.
Yeah, I agree.
Sky High. Wow. Number 3. What do we got for number 2?
Number 2, Toko Uso.
Toko Uso. All right. This makes sense. These guys are nasty. Toa, juicy. Just all over the place.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can see them again, and hopefully we see them soon so we can get a shot at those titles. But Toko Uso is a fearsome team.
Yeah, for sure. And they were kind of a up and I don't want to say up and down. They were pretty much in everybody's top 5-ish, but they it's hard not to put them number 2. I mean,
and they're the current tag team champions.
Exactly.
Madam Rice, how scary is Toko Uso?
On a scale of 1 to 10, they're about an 11.
Yeah,
that's fair.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so number 1, and we're going to get right into the top 10 singles. Who is the number 1 power rank for the preseason? Preseason kind of going into this year. Who is pre-ranked number 1 tag team in the LV scene. Who do we got for number one, Madam Rice?
Coming in hot at number 1, we've got Death.
Wow, Death Proof.
There was no doubt about this, really. I mean, this was so obvious from the very
Yeah.
beginning. It was kind of like, okay, as we were discussing the tag team, it was literally like, okay, we know who's number one. Let's just go from two down, because there was just, they were number one on everybody's individual polls except one, and that one was Toko Uso. So it's not like, you know, like we didn't.
Yeah, you know, no doubt about it. They've really held down the tag scene in 2021. They're honestly the one team that we've up to this point haven't beaten yet. But this Saturday at AWF, high stakes. Now Death Proof, you know, they won championships at Vegas and Washington. They're without a cause tag team champions.
Yep.
Now they want to come to our territory in the negative zone and try to take what's ours. I'm going to tell you this right now, Death Proof. I've already beaten your boy Cutthroat Cody at the CAC. And J Cafe, we haven't squared off like that before. But I tell you, me and Watson and the boys, we're going to make sure that by any means necessary, we walk out still AWF Tag Team Champions, and we get our revenge once and for all. And that's not fact or opinion, it's the gospel. Okay, let's get into this top 10.
So more about Death Proof being number one. I think it's just pretty.
yeah,
how can they not be?
I'm not, you know,
Yeah.
I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. That just means that we beat the number one team this weekend. How about that? That's what that means to me.
fair.
That means that if this is preseason power rank, the number 5 beats the number 1. And so, actually, before we do this, let's tell them how we're gonna do these rankings going forward. How often are we gonna see this going by?
I would say we're going to do them about every quarter, maybe every 10 weeks or so. I think
Okay.
that's enough time, because you have, you know, sometimes talent wrestles once a month.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. And so monthly is not enough time, really. I plan on keeping my own, obviously on a regular basis, and the group will always talk. But as far as set rings, I suspect it'll be in March at some point, maybe close to WrestleMania.
That sounds good. So the Secret Council has decided that quarterly we will get the power rankings, the LV top 10. So anything can change, anything can happen in between this time. So let's get into the top 10. The moment y'all been waiting for.
Man.
Top 10.
Ugh.
Who's the top 10 power rank preseason rankings? What do we got, Madam Rice?
Tresario.
Wow, Tresario. Tresario makes the number 10 list. He's, of course, the super beast, the dark arts, the warrior of the
World Warrior Champion.
World Warrior Champion. Of course, also APW Junior Heavyweight Champion. Tresario is one of the most solid competitors in the game right now. It makes a lot of sense to have him cracked, especially being a champion here in Vegas last year.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, you talk about somebody who encompasses professional wrestler. It's Tresario. He's a decorated amateur wrestler. It comes back at pro wrestling. He was one of those guys too that we had a challenge with, because we look at the talent and we're like, gosh, the guy should be a lot higher, but you know, it's so competitive that we couldn't quite go, but are we putting him ahead of him who's done more stuff here? You know, it was a real challenge with him, because he's another one of those guys that we believe is a higher ranked guy, but it doesn't necessarily come together yet. I guess,
I got you. I think due to the number, I think Super Beast and the Dark Arts over there, I think they're going to really start putting things together on that part. I think they, you know, are on the right track. So I think the more notoriety they get, the more notoriety he will get. And he's done some shows here at FSW. I think some Big Valley appearance. So he's making his rounds around town. So rightfully so.
Yeah, he's wrestled some good guys, in particular at FSW. And the World Warrior title is one of the coolest belts I've ever seen.
It's fantastic looking. Who do we got at number 9?
Ice.
What? What? What?
Yeah.
What is going on with the How is How is the coldest wrestler on the planet? Okay, you got to explain this to me. How is Ice Williams 9?
I don't know if it would it be easier to explain if we move into the next spot first, and then I can kind of discuss the whole.
Okay.
Ice. Here was one of some people in the group felt like Ice is very talented, no question about it. And again, like I said, we had 25 different wrestlers that received votes for the top 10. There were voters that did not have Ice in their top 10. He was very polarizing because there were some that were like, Ice deserves to be in the top 2 or 3, and some that didn't have him in their top 10 because what I was told by one person is they believed that he hadn't advanced, that it was kind of the same thing that they'd seen before.
Oh my gosh.
So that's
crazy.
That's
He's literally the longest reigning champion
without a
in
doubt.
Vegas
And he was
history.
hurt. He was hurt by 2020, obviously. I mean, there's no question about that.
Okay.
That hurt him going in. He had some great matches, without a doubt. But again, this is a deep list. Like, there's a lot of guys and talent, let's just say, guys and girls, that had great years. So this is so competitive. It's making the top 10 is a big deal.
Wow.
Okay, so you said this goes into what? So what does this go into? Who's number 8?
Number 8. It's Fresco. It's you.
Oh. Are you? You guys, what?
Man,
What the
I
hell?
don't know if anybody got more praise than you did as we discussed the rankings. And I'll share this little bit of the story. As we had originally had Ice a little higher. And as someone was making argument for Ice, another one of the members of the council started talking about Fresco. I started piping in about Fresco as well, 'cause I've written about Fresco lots of times.
Absolutely.
So I've been very high on Fresco. And as we started talking about Fresco, we started to say, well, Fresco had a better year when you look at everything. And so when we did that, I basically said to the group, I guess Fresco moves up. And that was it. That was how it happened.
Oh my gosh, you guys!
It was a shocker.
You guys are crazy.
I thought
The
Ice
Secret
would be higher, to
Council-
be honest. But
Secret Council. This. Wow. I did have a really good year. But
You
this
did
is
have a
crazy.
really good year.
Look
So
at
did
y'all.
Ice,
Look at
though.
y'all, man. Come on, man. This is okay.
But so did everybody in the top 7.
Oh my God. Okay.
That's the thing.
Who's number 7? Madam Rice. Who's number 7?
Yeah, Remy Marcel.
What? Remy Marcel.
One pinfall loss the entire year in FSW. One. And that was the class in the cashing in the case. So, I mean,
gosh.
Rem 2-time Nevada State champ.
Oh my gosh. Ice. Hey.
A lot of really good matches.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Remy Marcel. Remy Marcel. He did beat Hyper Street for the Nevada State title. He did beat Class. He's a 2-time Nevada State
He beat
champion.
Addison Kogar. I think I got his first name. Atticus Kogar in the death match at FSW versus GCW. He beat Jimmy Jacobs, Casino Show. Beat Class in a cage, Casino Show. Beat Adrian Quest at a Casino Show before Suavecitos attacked him and Class cashed in. I mean, a lot of wins on that resume this last year for Remy.
I don't beat 752. He don't beat Danny Limelight. Okay, all right, I'm good. Okay, for sure. Remy Marcel number 7. Okay. Who do we got number 6, Madam Rice?
The Shade.
Okay, cameraman, put this in my face right now. Cameraman, put this in my face right now. Cameraman, put this in my
favorite.
face. Are you serious? Shade's ahead of me? Number 6, okay. How did Shade have a better year than me?
Shade had a great year. And this goes back to what we said. I don't mean to keep reiterating this, but we had 7, 8, 9 talent that you could make arguments for to be number 1.
Absolutely.
Shade had a terrific year. Shade wrestled constantly. He was one of the busiest guys in the game this year. I don't remember when he wasn't champion.
Yeah.
He's made belts like you did. I mean, I didn't know what the Princess of Pride title was until he was the champion. And a lot of people can say that about the fighting title with what you did with it. So it was very similar paths. And you two are very, very close. Same with Remy, same with Ice.
Okay.
Easy arguments to flip that around.
Okay. You hear that, Madam Rice? The shade
do,
number
I
6. Okay.
I know.
Okay. Who's number 5?
Number 5, we have Gregory Sharp.
Gregory Sharp. Greg Sharp. A lot of people wanted him number 1.
I know.
I know that for sure. A lot of people
I
were
know.
saying Greg Sharp. This guy's got a mean. This isn't the same hyper streak that I was beating up on the intro.
Who would you have ever thought that Hyper
Yeah.
Streak could get booed like this?
Ugh.
He was one
Man.
of those that you looked at and said he could never be a heel.
Right, right. I agree.
They did so much. Go ahead.
Huh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I agree. I mean, Hyperstreak was so over as a face, and when he turned heel, it was like, wow, I really hate
How's he
this
gonna
guy.
How's he gonna do this? You know,
Right,
and then
when he started.
just
Yeah.
complete
Grizzle,
commitment.
Yeah.
Grizzle looked like a Kellogg's version of Childish Gambino.
And here's
but
the
it
other
works
thing.
out.
And you know, here's the other thing too
Yeah.
is Gregory changed his game to be a heel. He doesn't do a lot of the fast run around stuff that he did as Hyper Streak. He's not concentrating on the speed. He's concentrating on staying in one place and beating the crap out of you. And that's all he tries to do.
Gregory Sharp, number 5.
Super talent.
yeah.
Gregory Sharp, number 5. He, okay, okay.
right.
Who's number 4? Who's number 4?
Yeah, number 4, we've got Matt Vandergriff.
Matt Vandergriff. Okay.
Yes.
Matt Vandergriff has been all over the scene. He's been traveling all over the place, right, Brian?
FSW Wrestler of the Year, obviously GCW, all over the place for sure.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
to
Yeah.
mention several other countries.
Yeah,
companies.
for sure. He's been all over the country, all over the coast, all over the West Coast. Matt Vandergriff is easily one of the most, respected guys, on the West Coast today, and getting his name out there quite a bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. This is crazy. What do we have here at number 3? We're down to our top 3 already.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fast.
We're down to our
It
top
was.
3.
Yep.
Okay.
Excited about this.
At
Top 3.
Yeah. Number 3, we've got Papa Yase.
Papa Yase.
Yeah.
Papa Yase makes the top 3. I guess that makes sense since he's got 3 championships currently right now, really all based out of Vegas, because the Party Monster title is pretty much Vegas based now. Wow. Well, what went into this?
You know, Papa, so we had at least 5 different number 1s on the rankings
Yep.
that came in.
Definitely, yeah.
Papa was one of them, and you easily could argue that he had the best year. I mean, he was so dominant. He was must-see TV, and you wanted to see what he was doing. Who was he going after next? He went right after S4 TV. He's just looked dominant, and to see him come back the way he has been so exciting. 3 is a great spot, I think, for him.
Multiple. I think he's
Multiple
on
titles,
11 title defenses. I
something
think
like
he's
that.
got 2 already top defenses of my old fighting championship.
And he's had a lot of great matches.
Yeah.
It's not like he's just, he's winning.
He's not fighting just chumps. Like, I
No.
think he beat Colt Cabana last year
Yep,
too.
yep.
So, I think he only lost to 2 guys last year.
And who was
I
one of them?
think one of them was the street sweeper himself.
To be fair, though, that was before the change.
Okay.
But just to
You
make
hear
sure,
that, Madam Liza?
because this
You
is
know.
you got to admit this
I got,
is not
I
Papa
got
Yase.
dubs over most of these guys on this list.
Papa Yase though is a different person than he was.
We
This
were
is
beating
not
up
the same guy.
Gregory Sharp when he was still wearing a lucha mask. Well, okay. Who's number 2, Madam Rice?
Number 2, Jai.
Jay Vidal.
Yes.
Okay, this is something I can agree with you on. Jay Vidal, number 2. He's double champion right now. But
Ultra
for
No
Vegas'
Limits,
sakes,
yeah.
he's finally the No Limits champion.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely nice to see him get the belt. I mean, that young man worked very hard. He had so many great matches last year. It seemed like every time he wrestled, it was a match of the night contender, and it didn't matter who
Yeah.
it was against. He brings the fight every single time. what's in store for him here this next year could be really big.
Man,
Or even bigger, I
yeah.
guess you say.
Yeah. Jay Vidal's had a great year. He's been all over the spot. That's one of your favorite superstars, right?
Right.
Yeah, and he's, of course, PCW Ultra Lightweight Champion as well. He even won the RJN Cruiserweight Championship last year. He's done nothing but collect goals and collect big moments for GCW and beyond. So, number 2, I can agree on that.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to see where he goes in the near future. For
Just
sure.
made the Impact debut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. That's on the dot. See, he done so much stuff. You forget that he actually debuted
And did some good spots,
And there's
too.
some good spots with Impact Wrestling right now. So it's wild. But okay,
All right.
it comes down to this.
Drum roll.
The Secret Council has decided
Yes.
to start off 2022 with preseason rankings. The number 1, Madam Rice, who is our number 1?
Well deserved. Number 1 is Sandra Moon.
Wow. Sandra Moon
Yes.
takes the number 1 slot in the preseason power rank. We just seen her a few weeks ago in LA Fights, and she fought Bad Dude Tito.
Man, oh man. Yeah.
I tell you what, seeing that match live and seeing her bang with Bad Dude Tito and damn near get the win, I had nothing to say.
Sandra's easily one of the toughest talents in Las Vegas, without a doubt. I mean, she improved so much from, she comes back from the injury.
Wow.
Then she returns from injury, and then 2020. So she not only had the time off from that injury, then a lot of time off in 2020 as she gets back in shape. 2021, I mean, even in the way she came to the ring was different. She used to come in, it was a lot of smiles and waves and stuff like that. She doesn't do that anymore. She runs to the ring, gets down to business, she's in the corner, she's ready to go. It's a completely different focus from her. You see it in her matches, you see it in her physicality in the ring. She's tough as hell, like we talked about with Bad Dude Tito.
Yeah.
Super talent.
Wow.
Very happy to see her number 1.
Yeah, Sandra Moon, definitely. I'm not going to lie. She's been doing her thing. Also, debuted on Impact recently. Been on GCW, on West Coast Pro. Vegas, of course, the biggest thing she's done last year was win the FSW Women's Championship.
That was a long fight.
And that was a crazy, crazy battle between her and Maserati in that ladder match.
And the matches with Strella, leading up to Maserati.
Yeah.
Strella was whooping everybody except Sandra.
How do you feel, Madam Rice? Sandra Moon, number 1. What's your thoughts on that?
Sandra Moon, number 1. I think it's very well deserved. Sandra Moon has been working her ass off.
Wow.
Like you said, Brian, she went away, came back. She had an injury. And then, COVID happened. And it's like it didn't affect her at all. She came back ready to whoop ass, and that's what.
Yeah, last thing on that, Sandra Moon is one of the few women that I see personally that can bang with any guy in the ring.
Oh yeah.
And you don't even think about it as a girl fighting a guy. It's just two battle warriors going head to head, styles versus styles. Clash versus clash. So.
Yeah, she'll stand right in the pocket and trade with anyone.
Yeah,
it
that's
doesn't
that
matter to her.
Yep.
She does not care.
That's that Death Proof style she learned, man. I see it all the time. The art of Death Proof, that style. The whole S4TB got that style. But okay.
All right.
So our top 10. That's crazy. So these rankings can change throughout time.
Oh yeah, definitely. I expect them to change a lot by March. I think this is going to be very fluid. It's a top 10, but there were like I said earlier, there's so many people that deserve to be in the top 10. It just didn't happen this time for whatever reason. And also we're getting used to it, getting comfortable as we put them out and things of that nature. So so March will be next.
Interesting. Folks, don't forget to put the hashtag out, the Fresco Show, and tell me what you think about the top 10 rankings, folks. Folks, that is all the time we had to go today. We actually had to go to overtime to finish up these top 10 rankings. Thank you and shout out to Go Live Vegas for the article man. For Madam Rice, I am the street sweeper, the fly, the baddest man alive. And once again, welcome back to season 3 of the Fresco Show. Ha ha! Everything's only temporary, but Fresco's forever. Hallelujah.
Woo.
Cut the check. Ha ha! I can't believe this is. This is wow. Wow.